Hi everyone. Yes, I'm the same person who cancelled his Mac Mini after purchasing it and made a video about it. And people went crazy that I made a mistake. How can I judge something without even trying? See, things could have gone wrong for Apple as well, and it's my money, and so I have every right to be skeptical about it. I want to give you a background before talking about this Mac Mini. So I had a dual core 8GB RAM MacBook Pro 13-inch and I started my video editing with DaVinci Resolve. It was a great tool. I love the grading tool. I love the flow on it. But the problem was my MacBook was not able to handle it whenever I add simple title, animation or just a little bit of grading. So I upgraded my MacBook Pro to 16GB RAM and quad core. It was not available in India, so I had to get it from outside because Apple recently launched its website where you can configure your 13-inch MacBook Pro. So long story short, I was still not able to fix that issue because DaVinci Resolve needs a dedicated GPU, but these 13-inch MacBook Pro do not have that. So I had only two options, either upgrade to a PC with good graphic card or just purchase a Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro is really expensive, but it was still like 1/4 of the cost which I was ready to spend on a PC. And Apple also started giving 90 days trial of Final Cut Pro in the lockdown, so I had to try it. And I think it was enough time for me to judge whether to go back to DaVinci Resolve and buy a PC or just stick to Final Cut Pro. It still works okay with these low-end MacBook Pros because it's Apple made product and it works great with optimized media and proxy, so I was okay with it. But after the Big Sur, I was seeing some slowdown. And then the Mac Mini was announced and I was really excited about it and I purchased it. But then I cancelled it and I made a video about it saying that it will not work more than a video editor for me and the transition phase will take time. Although I made a mistake and I admitted that the transition time might not take as long as I was thinking, but I was right about everything, especially the part where I said that this is going to be a video editing machine for me. And I was specifically talking about my use case, but people took it personally. See, I know Apple M1 can replace a lot of people's personal and professional system because Rosetta 2 works fine and it can easily run many x86 applications on this new M1 chips. But my work is highly dependent upon virtual machines and Docker, so I cannot replace my professional machine with it. So I have to use both of them. So I purchased the cheapest Mac Mini possible so that I can upgrade in future, even if we get the Docker working on the M1 or I get a better iMac or MacBook Pro in future. But I want to address some issues, and these could be specifically for Mac Mini or Big Sur itself, but I do want to point them out. First of all, there are only two Thunderbolt ports on these machines. Either you take M1 MacBook Pro, MacBook Air or this Mac Mini. Although you have some USB-A port, but all of my accessories are USB-C right now. So if I connect a monitor and SSD all the time, I don't have any USB-C ports left. One very strange thing I found that my T5 SSD works really slow with these Thunderbolts/USB 4 ports. So I was getting around 320 Mbps write speed and 350 Mbps read speed as compared to my Intel Max where I get usually more than 500 Mbps. So that was strange. I don't know that's backward compatibility issue or what. So I was using the USB-A port and it supports only 5 Gbps, but I was still getting more than 368 Mbps on read and write. So I'm using that. Also, when I use my Time Machine hard drive to create this system, the read speed was only 2 Mbps, so it took 5 hours to create this machine and I was regretting that I would have just gone for the normal setup. So I tried this with my older Intel Mac as well. It took only 40 minutes, so that was also really slow. But that's only a one-time thing, so you don't have to worry about it. Another issue I found with this Mac Mini that was really irritating, that my mouse was disconnecting every 5 minutes. So it's an issue with the M1 Mac Mini. I'm not sure about the MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, but it was really frustrating. Also, I tried to connect my Bluetooth speaker with it, but I was not able to. It was just showing some 41, 41, 41, something like that, and I was not able to connect it. But after the update of 11.0.1, I was able to connect my Bluetooth speaker, but those mouse Bluetooth issues are not fixed yet. And I got really pissed very next day when I was not able to connect any keyboard with my Mac Mini. See, it does not have a display or a keyboard, so you have to rely on Bluetooth keyboard. So my Apple Magic Keyboard was not working, my Logitech keyboard was not working, only the Apple Magic Mouse was working at that time. So I had no wired keyboard and no unified dongle for Logitech and I didn't know what to do. So I just tried a trick. I tried the USB lightning cable and connect my Apple Magic Keyboard with the Mac Mini and surprisingly it worked. I had no idea about it. I couldn't find it anywhere on the Google. So I was able to fix the Logitech keyboard mouse issue. So you have to disable the firewall to make the external keyboard and mouse work. But for Magic Keyboard, I still don't know why it was not working. So these were the initial hiccups, and everything else was working really fine, especially the Apple apps and some tools like Slack, Git, Visual Studio, and some terminal app were working really fine, but I cannot still replace it with my development machine because of the same reason, virtual machine and Docker. And rest of the stuff I can still work with my iPad. The only reason I don't use my iPad as a video editing machine because of the bad monitor support, and I cannot directly write on an external SSD. See, I'm not gonna lie, I was really frustrated and I literally tried returning this product. So in Apple India, you don't have a return policy. I tried their customer support, but they were only ready to replace my product, and they asked me to call the sales team, and I tried for like half an hour. No one picked my call. So finally I decided to go and test the final cut, and the result was surprising. Actually, they were not surprising because I've seen it everywhere, so I tried it myself. So I was testing my iPhone 12 project, and these were the results. So I tested it on the internal hard drive, external hard drive, and my 16 GB MacBook Pro. And after seeing the result, I was happy with it. The scrubbing through the timeline was okay, so I decided to keep it. I'm not gonna go deep into this because there are tons of video about it, and I'm also not a Windows person, so I didn't try any of that. I might not even make a video about it unless these ARM-based chip can support everything I work on my Intel base. So if you have any questions about it, just let me know and I try to answer in the comments. If you want my opinion, I would say MacBook Air is the best value M1 Mac you can purchase right now. This is okay if you already have a monitor and a mouse or a keyboard, but otherwise I would definitely recommend going for the base model of MacBook Air. I think 8 GB RAM is enough, even though it's going to use a lot of swap on your SSD, but these SSDs are really fast and it's going to take a lot of time for them to degrade. So don't worry about it, just use them. I still think paying $200 for 8 GB RAM upgrades, it's absurd. Please share this video if anyone is planning to buy this M1 Mac Mini and let them know about the issues. And please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.